Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dion's Daily Dose for Tuesday, September 22nd, 2020. So first, I want to tell you it's getting close to Election Day. We're coming up on it very, very quickly. Remember to visit indianavoters.com, which will take you to the site where you can learn a whole lot of information. Make sure you're registered. It'll tell you where you go to vote, etc. indianavoters.com. I'll share the screen with you, and you'll see where it actually leads to. I'm going to make sure you have that information before we move on. Here it is right here. This takes you to indianavoters.in.gov, and it is your voter portal. You can see the primary election results. You can register, check your status, vote by mail or traveling board, voting locations, which is most important. Find out the times and locations of where to cast your vote. There's a lot of other information on here, but that's the main things. Before we get into these meetings, oh my God, these meetings, especially today. Wow. A couple of stories that I want to share with you real quick. First of all, I'm sure you've seen this, but if you have not, one of the biggest, most well-known advocates for the defund the police movement, good old crazy Alyssa Milano, calls 911, sparking a massive police presence in her quiet California neighborhood, claiming an armed gunman. And you got to love this. Look at it. An armed gunman was on her property, but it was really a teen shooting at squirrels with an air gun. I always find it particularly interesting when some of the biggest advocates for the defund the police movement are the ones that are, of course, quickest to call 911. The next big story that I found personally interesting is the fact that the USW lit up iconic Pittsburgh landmarks with a Biden-Harris message without permission. They didn't seek anyone's permission. They just put this light show everywhere. And there are multiple locations that are like, what is going on? So Corey Barsky, right? He is the vice chair of the Pitt College Republicans, said the projection that included the USW logo and a line urging viewers to, quote, plan to vote was visible for nearly 2 hours. He said the display seemed out of line with policies the university invoked this month when it denied his group's request to plant small American flags around the cathedral lawn to mark the 19th anniversary of 9/11. It's not okay to do that. He says, Pitt gets millions of dollars in state money. I don't think they should permit that sort of thing. Now, the spokesman said, oh, we didn't know they were going to do it. They did it. We told the police told them to turn it off, and they did so. Apparently, it took 2 hours to get them to turn it off. Anyway, that's what I want to show you. One more thing real quick before we get into this. I don't know if you've seen this. You probably have. Probably follow the same stuff I do. Nancy Pelosi had a what do you call it? A brain fart, maybe, where she goes good morning, Sunday morning, and it was the creepiest, weirdest thing I've seen. Watch this. If you have not seen this, it's just a couple of seconds, and it's well worth it.
day that we lost Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
But to be clear, you're not taking any arrows out of your quiver. You're not ruling anything out.
Good morning. Sunday morning. We have a responsibility. We take an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. We have a good morning. Sunday morning.
Like, what? What is that? What is going on? Good morning. Sunday morning. What? So, as you can see by Stephanopoulos' face, this obviously was not a planned excursion into La La Land. It happened without any sort of warning. It was just kind of one of those things. Now, there are some claims that apparently CBS Sunday Morning or whatever Sunday Morning was patched into her earpiece, so she was answering them. It's possible. I don't know. What I know is it came off as very, very bizarre. So I want to cover these meetings that I went to. And hi, Connie. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for joining us. So the first one was the South County Coalition. Really quickly, that was held at the Westville Town Hall, and it was last night at 6 p.m. I did attend that. They were talking about accepting the financial reports and whatnot. They had Gary Radke from Radke Engineering there to talk about a sewer system in Union Mills. Union Mills is outside my district, so if you're interested in all of that, you can let me know, and I'll fill you in. But they're going to be looking for additional grants and whatnot, and it is coming along. There's a lot to that. The biggest thing was, though, they let people know that there would be an election board meeting tonight, and that is the crazy thing. Also, one more thing. Let me see. Oh, well, yeah, they were going to be spraying for equine encephalitis, and how they're doing that was it would be killing mosquitoes. So people who had farms that had organic crops or bees should have contacted them, and they would not have sprayed that area. I'm not entirely sure how they would do that, considering they only had 24 hours, me personally, that I found out about it. But so there was an award that was given out. It was a new award, Pride of South County. I thought I wrote her name down, but I will get that and I'll add it because it was pretty awesome. She actually got 17, and she got some work done on Highway 30 and 600, and they added lights and some other stuff, saying that they'd look into things. They're still working on making them actually give a plan and do stuff, but huge petition that had over 1,500 signatures. They got in touch with NDOT. LED stop signs. They added more signage, including a large sign for South Central School. NDOT said they would extend the median and the turning lane. NDOT has kind of stalled and has not responded to additional emails. They've said there's no need for a south turning lane. NDOT has done markings, but they haven't really done much of anything else. We kind of asked, is there someone in particular? Earl Cunningham said he knows someone and recommended speaking directly to them. Let's see here. They'd like them to widen the turning lanes and add acceleration lanes, and NDOT said we'll look into it. They really need to get something in writing from them. Upcoming events, they're having an Abridged Pumpkin Fest on the 3rd. The Hannah Lions will be doing chicken at the campground, and Wanatah is doing a drive-up chicken thing on the 26th, and it's 10:30 until it's gone. Now, for the real news, the election board meeting met in a special session at 4 o'clock this afternoon, which I attended. If you're not familiar with what's going on with this, Kathy Kroback was the only official to say no to 2 additional early voting locations, one at the corner of Johnson Road and 400, the old library, right, in Coolspring, and then a second location in Wanatah. 50, I don't remember exactly how many. It was 50 something. I want to say 3, but it might be even more. Over 50 elected officials convened, came together, and said, this is a good idea. Both sides of the aisle, unpartisan. Everyone was in agreement. This is a good idea. People are having to drive 45 minutes each way just to go early vote. 45 minutes. Let's make this happen. There's no reason it shouldn't happen. We've got stuff set up. And at the meeting, now remember, this is people all the way from state representatives, senators, mayors, everyone said this is a good idea, except Kathy Kroback. They needed a unanimous board vote to make it happen on the election board, and Kathy Kroback voted against it. I shared the story. Well, apparently someone, probably more than one person, spoke to Kathy Kroback and told her, there is more to this. You need to change your vote on this, right? You need to make this happen. So we have a special meeting today at 4:00. Everybody's there. Well, the council was there. A lot of people were in the audience. A lot of people. So they did the roll call, which I might add, Kroback was a few minutes late too. But the meeting was supposed to start at 4:00. We had to wait for her to get there. She got there a few minutes late. They start off, they do the roll call. They table the minutes because they weren't ready yet. No old business. Motion to reconsider early voting locations. Now, the thing is that the people who voted for it cannot reintroduce it. It has to be the person who voted against it. All that, fine. So here's where it gets just crazy. Kroback says it's easy for people to sit back and dictate what's going to happen, but you don't know what's going on. You don't know how hard this is. You don't know. I don't feel like that adding 2 locations is fair to all of the county. We've got Fish Lake and Kingsford Heights that also have to drive a long ways, and it's not fair to just add 2. Instead of doing it a little at a time, I don't know, but I was planning on talking about it next year. Then, oh my God, then she goes, I'm willing to do this, but only if you support adding a bunch of stuff and I get a bunch of guarantees. Like what? Okay. She wants IT support at her disposal on standby all the time for any issues that can occur, and they will. Her tone. I want a rep that understands micro vote and answer all my questions. I want keys to the facilities before and after. We got to have working restrooms. That I agree with. There have to be working restrooms. Computers, printers, internet access, kitchen facilities, a fridge, microwaves. This huge list of stuff. There were people in the audience actually laughing when she's talking about this stuff. Laughing. I heard someone, I couldn't verify who it was, but someone said, why don't we just get you a Cadillac too while we're at it? It was insane. Absolutely insane. One of the other board members said, look, we can work on this stuff. We have all these people who are telling us we're going to have the resources that we need in order to make this happen. But I was unaware that there were conditions attached to this motion. Finally, eventually, Kroback says, motion to reconsider 2 voting locations, Coolspring and Wanatah. Kathy was asked, are you doing a motion to add these 2 voting locations? Her answer was, "Is that what I said?" Okay. Long story short, it gets added, and she wants voting centers. She says they want to set up this is for next year, I guess, set it up in an area so that anyone can go to any location in the county. Electronic poll books. It'll have to be set in a big area, gym, hall, blah, 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 blah. That's okay. People are like, yeah, we can do a study on that. We're not voting on any of that stuff right now, but we can definitely do a study on it to see how it's going to go. And Sheila and Novak are for studying a conversion to vote centers, but they can't guarantee anything without full support of the commission, etc. Let's see here. Mr. Lee Morris spoke from Better Government Study Group. He actually gave a handout to a lot of people, which I don't think you're going to be able to read this, but I'm going to tell you what it says. It's the Better Government Study Group, a nonpartisan gathering of interested LaPorte County residents created in 2013, has formed a strategy group on elections that includes representatives of other citizen groups concerned about election safety and security in LaPorte County. The group has a simple goal: put all partisan considerations aside and work with the Board of Elections and others to identify and help address any potential or actual problem or issue that might undermine the safety and security of elections in LaPorte County. Immediate priorities. It's 1 through 5. Recommend a location or locations in South LaPorte County for early voting. They did that. Verify that enough election volunteers, poll workers, and ballot counters are chosen, trained, and show up to secure that the election is safe, secure, and done on time. 3. Recommend that errors in the precinct maps be corrected. 4. Recommend that the system to send out absentee ballots be adjusted to prepare for an anticipated large number. Also, that the counting system be adequately staffed to assure timely results. Recommend starting the counting of absentee ballots earlier. 5. Recommend that travel board voting be adequately staffed and efficiently run. I think there's some good stuff here. They even have recommended action steps. I plan on taking a picture of this and putting it on there so you can review it. Some of the comments were actually quite interesting. So one of them was a gentleman by the name of Rodney McCormick, who spoke and said that voting is seriously messed up in Michigan City. It's really bad. His words were, it's an election year, so of course you hear now, but when it's not an election year, none of you people want to do anything. My advice to everyone everywhere is LaPorte and Michigan City, all LaPorte County, we need to come together and get stuff done. And my advice to everyone is to vote out every single incumbent. It doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. Vote them all out. So that was interesting. A couple other miscellaneous speakers. A gentleman by the name of Chris Throgmorton got up and spoke. He said in 2008 election in Westville, it was very difficult to early vote. His words were, "I am disgusted by Kathy Kroback for holding this up for a microwave. I cannot wait to vote for Heather Stevens. Good riddance." So that was interesting. That's really about it. There's some other stuff. A gentleman by the name of Don Briggs, he lives in Michigan City. He said that he applauds the Better Government Study Group. He wants cost-effective, trustworthy elections. His suggestion was making it like Colorado, where they have a mail-in vote. He also said, "I'm in favor of public officials who do their job." I don't know how Colorado's deal is set up. According to him, it's trustworthy. I don't know. I am not familiar with Colorado's elections. But the council did say, everyone, it's going to be a very difficult but not impossible situation here for the early voting locations. Temper your expectations. We are going to do all we can, but sometimes things are out of our control. Glad we could do this, here to make sure everyone can cast their vote. Should have been done last time, but at least we got it done. Kathy Kroback had no comment at the end. So one of the speakers was a representative from the League of Women Voters, who I'm not sure if you're familiar with. They do vote411.org. They have really good information on candidates, right? They send a questionnaire, a picture like Ballotpedia, right? So one of the interesting things was if you go to their website, my opponent, who happens to be a member of League of Women Voters, I might add, has plenty of information up there, picture, website, all that stuff. My stuff is not up there. I asked her, I said, hey, I have been trying to get in touch with you, and I've sent several emails trying to get my information up on the site. I have yet to receive a login, anything in order to update my information. You would think that you could at least use what I used for Congress. According to her, if you're there pre-primary, then it's a lot easier to get it updated. I guess. I don't know. You wouldn't think so, that it was that big a deal, but apparently it is. But now they are aware that I'm actively seeking. She took my information. She said she would get in touch with the people to get my stuff updated on it. We will see what happens. I would hate to think that a group like League of Women Voters, who claims to be nonpartisan, would do more for a member than they would not for someone else. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope that's not the case. What a wild ride. I'm really looking forward to Justin Kiel's story. He has a couple of newspapers here in LaPorte County. Westville Indicator is one of them, and I'm really looking forward to his write-up on this because he has all of the information. If you want to see the actual meeting, it's on ALCO, which is the LaPorte County public access. Apparently, they record all of the meetings. So I think it's LA ALCO LA. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Is it LACO? Here, let me see if I can find it real quick, and I'll share the. See if I can share the LaPorte County ALCO. See if I can share the. Okay, ALCO. Yeah, accesslaportecounty.org. That's it. ALCO TV. accesslaportecounty.org. Here, I'll put it in the. Put it in here. Access. LaPorteCounty.org. There you go. You can go to that, and I was told that they will have the full meeting on there. It was like there you can hear the people laughing in the audience when Kroback is going through this big, massive list of everything that she wants on this as a guarantee before she'll change her vote, despite the fact, I might add, that everyone wants this. Every single elected official, other than her, signed off on it, told her, look, this needs to happen. We have the money in place. We have the technology in place. We have the locations picked out. We have everything we need, at least to get it started and try it, make it happen. So now we're like, what, a week behind because of her vote or whatever. It's safe to say that if it does crumble, the blame can be laid fully on her feet, because had she started earlier, it would not have been an issue, right? So don't forget to follow me on social media at Dion for Indiana. Visit my website, dionbergeron.com, to learn more about me and where I stand on the issues. And get out there and vote. If you are planning on voting in person, that site will get it for you. Let me I'm going to share that as well so you can go to it, see, make sure you're registered, make sure you are going to vote regardless of how you feel about any of the candidates. Vote for the person that you do believe in. I am not telling you who to vote for, but I am telling you to get your butt out there and vote. It is more important now than ever to make your voice heard and to make these elected officials understand that elections have consequences. If you don't do your job while you're in office, you're going to get voted out, and you should get voted out. So thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. We have some very big shows coming up, some good guests, and I think we're going to have a good time. So God bless you. God bless Indiana, and God bless the United States of America, right?
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Sean Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2020. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.